Uh,
I have like 20 tabs open.
All right, so it's saying we're live. So we're live, right,
We're
Mike?
live. We're live. Yeah, we are live and ready
All
to
right, we'll
roll.
let everybody join in here. Good morning, everyone, to this week's edition of One Man's Opinion on Sports, along with the two dumb Yinzers. We're going to preview the Steelers versus the Colts today, a 1 o'clock game. The next 85 games, I believe, are Sunday nights, Monday nights, Sunday afternoon. So this is a good 1 o'clock game. I love 1 o'clock games.
Oh, me
Mike,
too.
Bryan, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
yeah, I'm way ready, man. I've been a lot of shit talk throughout the week, and at some point you're just like, let's get this over, let's get the game
Right.
in, let's play. And that's where I'm at.
All right, Ryan, why don't you run down the injury report? Do you have the Colts injury report up too?
Yeah, I'm kind of
I
getting a
don't know
weird.
any Colts anyway. You could
Yeah,
tell
no,
me
neither do
fake
I.
names and I wouldn't know.
All right. So Peyton Manning will be out. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Here we go. So apparently we're going to get a Mason McCormick start today because Isaac Seumalo will not be playing. We were kind of hopeful that might come through this week, but that is not going to happen. It will be a Mason McCormick, guys. Game
When you
stat.
said Mason McCormick, I thought you were mentioning the quarterback for the Colts. I forgot he was our left guard.
Quarterback Russell Wilson is questionable with his calf today. Jalen Warren is out with his knee. Jalen Warren again out with his knee. Alex Highsmith out with his groin. Seumalo doubtful to out with his pec, and Michael Pruitt is out with his knee. For the Indianapolis Colts guys, it looks like the game time status will be Kenny Moore, who's a cornerback with his hip. He will be out. Defensive lineman Quiddy Payne with his quad, he'll be out. Ryan Kelly with his neck is questionable. Chris Lamons with his knee ankle is questionable. Tyquan Lewis, a defensive end, calf wrist questionable. And finally, the tackle Braden Smith with a knee, guys, will be questionable for the Colts today.
Did you say Quiddy? Quiddy Payne?
Quiddy. Kwity. Quiddy.
Quiddy
God
Payne
bless
from
God
Michigan.
bless his mother.
Yeah. So no Quiddy Payne. If you were waiting to see Quiddy Payne, you were SOL today, guys.
I was actually wanting to see Quiddy Payne. I remember him from college.
I want to see what a Quiddy Payne looks like.
I have an Alex Highsmith question.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm hoping you guys can answer it. Okay, so we know that Herbig is going to be stepping in for him.
Yes.
But when Herbig doesn't play, let's say on a known run play, who's the backup to him? Who's going to be playing those snaps against the run?
DeMarvin Leal, maybe.
How do you spell his last name?
What about that
Jeremiah Moon's on IR.
Oh, is he? Leal, Leal.
Who?
DeMarvin Leal. Is that who you asked?
Yeah, how do you spell that?
Leal. Leal.
Leal. That's Leal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When you don't, when there's no accent marks put in there in the English language because our language sucks. Yeah, you don't know where the enunciate. But DeMarvin Leal.
I'm ready to quitty.
Real quick, I do want to say good morning to Jen on the board and Derpy. Derpy's in the house as well. Good morning, Derpy.
What's up, Jen? Derpy.
I wonder if Derpy's going to have his 7-second delay when he responds on the board like he does on the show.
Oh, it's going to be like a 45-second delay on the board. It's going to be bad with Derp Dog today.
What up, big Derp Dog?
I have a question for Derpy. Maybe he'll answer on the board. Does he watch any of my YouTube videos that I put out? I sent them to him, and he doesn't even respond to me. He just ignores me.
Well, I sent him one the other day. I said, Derpy, Brian wants you to watch everything, do these, for these videos, and I haven't heard anything. But he may be doing it. I don't know. I just didn't hear anything back.
You never know with Derpy. He's an enigma.
He is an enigma.
Right. All right. So today's game,
it's like when when Moses seen God, Brian. You're the only person ever seen his face up on that mountain.
I have.
You are the only one to see Derpy's face.
Yeah, I've only seen it in pictures.
So. I have pictures of it.
Yeah, you do. You do have pictures. But it's like when Moses was on top of the mountain and he seen God's face. That's what it was like.
I did. I went up to the top of the mountain at Acrisure and met with Derpy. It was a good time. I wish I had more time. It was such a busy day.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I would have spent a whole quarter with him or something, but
right.
It is what it is. All right, so I got a question. This quarterback for the Colts, where the heck is he at here?
Anthony Richardson.
What is his deal? Like, I don't even know anything about him. All I know is that he throws the ball 600 miles an hour.
Yeah.
No matter if it's a screen pass or a deep ball 40 yards downfield. Are we going to see a ton of drop passes by both the receivers and the defensive backs today?
I think with Anthony Richardson, what you got with this guy, he's just one of these young, very, very athletic kids. He's going to come out there and he's going to do stuff that these fast athletic running backs do, or quarterbacks. I'm sorry. You're right. He does fire the ball in there. Maybe that will play to our advantage for some drop passes and things like that. But I think the guys, we should be able to handle this dude. And a lot of people talking about, their run game is really good and their pass game isn't as great. I think our defense is going to be able to zone in on these guys, and hopefully we have a pretty big day.
Yeah, like he has no touch on the ball. Like you can, like you said, he just whoops the ball in there. And it's great on those deep passes, but those short to intermediate passes, his accuracy on those, those throws is not great to begin with. And then the way he just whips it in there, look for a lot of drop passes. And I'm looking for some tip drill interceptions like we saw last week against us. I think the defense, the middle backers in the corners and safeties should be able to feast today. Looking for a couple interceptions because, like I said, his accuracy right now, his footwork is not the best. He's only played since high school, only played 15, maybe 20 games combined between the pros and college. So he does not have a lot of high-end experience. He has a lot of potential. You can see it there, but he should be sitting on the bench right now.
Right. Yeah, that's my question is how the heck is he a starter in the NFL?
Yeah, well, these teams now, they think they can roll them out, that you're going to get a Big Ben type performance. You're going to get a CJ Stroud performance. That's not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers set for what, 3 years? Manning was rushed, but he should have sat. You got to sit these guys down for a year or two because college now, they're not getting you ready for the pros. They're getting you to win in that system now in college. So these guys, they got to sit for at least 2 years.
Maybe they should make Richardson the border czar. No experience and just mangle the job, but hey, he should run for president.
Well, yeah, then he can sit there and stop anything from happening. Hey, we got this plan that will work, and it's not going to work, and he already is. He's like the someone who's running for office.
Are they going to allow? I gotta know.
Hey, we got a plan that's going to work, and I'm just going to dismantle it.
Are they going to allow him to eat permanis before he goes? Is the big question.
Hopefully not. Well, we want no one does. You only from Pittsburgh, you get to eat permanis. No outsiders allowed.
I'm getting tired of these politicians coming in here and creating division. I wish that this whole thing was over, but unfortunately, with the election in 1 month and Pennsylvania being such a big state for everything, we're going to see a lot of these idiots over the next 32, 33 days.
What if he just stands at the border and just whips them in like Uncle Rico when they're coming across the border and just zips them in the face with a football?
He couldn't hit anyone like Uncle Rico's over the mountains. I think Uncle Rico, he kind of reminds me of Uncle Rico when he throws across the middle. Yeah, you don't know who's going to catch it.
Who, Richardson?
Yeah, I'm watching breakdown of him across the middle of the field. He no touch, no nothing, but his deep ball and his out routes are pretty good. But if he can ever figure out how to throw the middle of the field, this guy could be dangerous. Hopefully he does not figure it out this week.
And the thing about a guy like this, about him, you're watching Kirk Cousins, you're watching, up until he got injured last week, Justin Herbert, and you got, you're thinking to yourself, you just got to get to these guys, you got to hit them. He's a different kind of beast. He's he's a young kid. He's fast. He's athletic, and so it's not the same thing. I think you want to get to him early, of course, just as you would every other quarterback, but it's not the same thing when you're facing a quarterback like this. Say you get to Lamar Jackson early. He still comes with that whole game that he brings, and it's athleticism and his speed and things like that. So it changes up a little bit, but I think our defense could handle this guy.
I think so too. We're, like you said, we're used to playing a quarterback like him. We play Lamar Jackson twice a year. We're able to contain him, and I think and I hope we game plan similarly to him the way we do with Lamar Jackson. And this guy, he got hurt last year, scrambling. So you get a couple good licks on him. This guy might not be as durable as someone like Cam Newton, Big Ben, these quarterbacks who are big and tall can take the hits. This guy, you might have a little bit of an injury concern with him.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering how big he is the size of TJ Watt.
Oh, wow. That's a big
I don't know if he has those long arms and long legs and small upper body like Watt, but
he doesn't look that size though out there. He looks a little thinner than that, but my God. Yeah. I say you just pound him. You just pound him.
All right. So last year, my biggest concern, and I did a whole YouTube video on TJ Watt, and part of it was about the Colts and how they ran the ball down the Steelers' throats last year. They averaged Trey Sermon 5.2 yards per carry and Tyler Goldson 6.3 yards a carry. I don't even know who those guys are. And they're averaging, 5+, 6+ yards a carry.
Brian, the matter of fact that, this is where we are. We may have issues today because their running back is running very well this year. But, the names that you mentioned, I think that you could take those two names and the name even out today. It's that offensive line. Their offensive line
Taylor today,
is Indianapolis is that good. It just goes to show you how far they are behind in the quarterback game, because if they had a decent quarterback, this offense should be pretty good. Again, a great offensive line, Taylor running the ball, and I think that's what we're going to be up against today. So again, if we could turn it into a one-dimensional game and force them to run a lot, I think we're going to be okay, even though that is their strength. We got a pretty damn good defense, guys.
I think a major factor of this game compared to last year is the health of that front seven. Cam Hayward looks to like maybe tapped into the fountain of youth. Larry Ogunjobi's healthy. Keanu Benton, another year of experience. He's healthy. All four outside of Highsmith, at least we have our starting middle backers in there. Now we have better depth behind them. Watt seems to be playing the run a whole hell of a lot better this year than he did last year. So that's going to help big time. I think they're still going to get their yardage because, like Ryan said, they do have one of the best offensive lines in the league, especially that interior with Quentin Nelson in there. He's going to be huge, man. And Ryan Kelly's a little banged up, but he's still one of really good centers. So it's going to be tough to stop that running game, but I think we're much better prepared this year than last year to handle their rushing attack. I think they're probably going to run for like a $120, $130 in that range. And that's going to be enough for us to contain them.
If our quarterback today, Justin Fields, could outplay what Mitch Trubisky did last year, I think we're going to be fine.
What Mitch? He had 2 interceptions last year and like 169 yards, I believe.
Yeah, it was something bad. And like their secondary is not that good. Like they're giving up numerous passing yards. They're just not that good. I have all these stats up here. They're giving up like 315 yards of. Oh, that's their offense. I got my bad. I have too many stats up right now, but they're
right. I'm the same. I have like 85 things pulled up on the laptop, and I don't know which one's which.
Yeah, they're giving up 20 points a game, so they're kind of stingy. But you can put up a lot of yards against them.
I have a dog that it's dressed up like a clown dancing across the top of my screen. It's really awesome.
So the Colts are giving up 179 yards rushing per game. That's the worst in the NFL. And they're 21st in pass defense at 219 yards per game. So they give up a lot of yardage. They tend to, they're holding under around 20 points a game. That's about average in the league. So I think we should be able to win this game. I think Field should be able to feast against this secondary. I think our running attack should feast against their defensive line and linebackers.
I hate to be the guy that looks ahead, but I've been, I'm glad that we're fans.
You're going to look ahead.
You're going to look ahead. I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to do it.
But we're fans, and we can do that, guys. I tell you what, this game next week against the Dallas Cowboys is very intriguing, and I can't wait to get into that next week. But I guess we'll talk about the Colts.
Yeah, you just kind of hope this isn't going to be that typical track game that we fall into. Of
exactly.
I'd love to go to talk about the Cowboys on the Colts pregame show.
Yeah, right. So you hope they're. But this year, this team seems more focused with the present than like the last couple teams. So I anticipate them going in and handling business.
Mike and Brian, can I ask you guys both a question? Who do you think will step up? Will it be the number 2 receiver? Is it going to be Van Jefferson today? Or is it going to have to be somebody that kind of popped up last week, like Calvin Austin III, maybe even Pat Freiermuth? As far as being second to George Pickens, who do you think it's going to be, guys? Who's going to step up today and be that guy that can get it done? Does Van Jefferson have it? I just haven't seen it yet, and it's crazy because again, yes, he was out last week, but for 3 games, the numbers and I don't know. Is this dude have it in him, or do we have to seriously consider looking elsewhere?
I think they really are considering looking elsewhere. There's a lot of reports that they're taking a look at Jacksonville. T. Higgins is talking about coming up on the market for teams. I think you start looking because how quickly can Roman Wilson get involved in this offense? Is he going to play today? If he plays, how much, how effective is he going to be? But I think looking for someone like Calvin Austin to step up big time, and I think the Freiermuth is starting to find that connection with Fields. We're starting to see some of those more middle of the field throws, and they open that up.
And I love that. That's something we haven't seen in years.
That's huge. It's huge the way he can open up that offense. So I'm looking for, outside of Pickens, I'm looking for Freiermuth and Calvin Austin again. I think it's the easy answer to say, but the way they were going, you're seeing a connection build between Fields and those two outside of Pickens. And if teams want to focus on Pickens, he has to lean on those guys, and those two stepped it up. So I'm looking for those two to have another big game.
And I'm seeing Devontae Adams out in Las Vegas. He's battling injury issues, so that's a name that's certainly come up before.
Injury issues,
yeah.
Now Roman Wilson's making a start today, correct?
I'm looking at the inactive list, and it's still saying nothing on his game status. So
whether he starts or not, I think he plays. I think he plays for sure.
Yeah, now is it going to be like Tomlin wants to work him in, or is he going to play like every down like he should be playing?
I think he's going to get worked in, and if he shows that he can handle it early on, more and more reps will come his way.
Well, hopefully he gets at least 5 targets today. Maybe pulls in 3, maybe for a key for third down or something, for a first down.
And that's the thing that a lot of people are doing as well. They're talking about, if Roman Wilson could come in and be that guy. The guy, legitimately has not played a snap in the NFL. We're already hoping that he's going to outplay Calvin Austin. We're already assuming he's going to outplay Van Jefferson. Who knows? He might come out and not give as much production as Mike stated earlier in the show. College and pros, those are 2 different games. I mean, who knows? Who knows what we're going to see with Roman Wilson?
Yeah, they're not playing Ohio State tonight.
Yeah, and like Tomlin said, you're a rookie trying to jump on a moving train. You have to get up to speed, and you missed all of training camp. Like you said, like how game ready is he going to be? The conditioning is going to be there, but the game speed is so much different. He had 0 preseason snaps. It's going to be a tough adjustment, but if he can do it, it's going to be a huge addition.
Absolutely. Well, what do you guys think? Okay, speaking of the wide receivers, the offensive side of the ball. I mean, is Justin Fields, is he just our starter for the rest of the season, or what's going on with that situation?
I think he is. I think he's the starter until he has a couple bad games in a row. The offense, they're winning games. You can't it's hard to take him out. They're winning games. He's starting to get connections with people, starting to build that chemistry. And the team, the way they talk about him, they see him as the starter. They look at him as not a vocal leader, but that quiet leader that's doing everything the right way. And guys are following in behind him, working just as hard as him. So I think he's the starter until he has a string of bad games, and then you have to go to Russell Wilson at that point.
He's 100% the starter. I mean, listen, everything they're doing with this guy is what you do for a starter. They kind of worked him in. He, fortunately, by the way things went for him, and unfortunately for Russell Wilson, it's working in his advantage. And he's won game 1, we won game 2, we won game 3. This dude comes in today and we win today. There's no way after a quarter of the season you could take your starting quarterback and place him on the sideline when the dude that has not played a snap all season finally gets his calf to where it's not tight on him. I think this is the starter. I honestly can't imagine. It would be stupid for them not to continue to move on with him as a starter. Let's say we go out and lose 45-7 and Fields throws 4 interceptions and loses a fumble. Some Cordell Stewart kind of stuff. I think then maybe the conversation will rise, but you can't, come on, at this point, you can't take this guy out. He is your starter.
Yeah, it can't be after one bad game. You don't want to, you have to give him a chance to respond.
And he hasn't done anything to really have you pull him either. I mean, he's been accurate. He's been smart. There hasn't been, a lot of the issues I see are that line not giving enough time. But luckily, somebody like him, he has the abilities to get up and out of that pocket, move around. So I do like that. I think, like it or not, I think he's your starter, guys.
I think so too.
I've heard rumors that the Steelers are trying to get him a $50 million 2-year deal, somewhere around $25 million for next year and $25 million the following year.
And he better win some more football games.
I heard that too, and like the price tag, it sounds like on paper, oh my god, that's so much. But you go down the list, that puts him at like 20th, paid, and then like rookie contracts kick in. So that's a bargain anymore for a starting quarterback. $25 million. That's someone who's not on their rookie contract. see how he does up until the bye week, and then I think a decision should be made then, because if you don't and he plays well the rest of the year, what are you going to do? Franchise tag him? Then that contract balloons. Because if I'm Fields, I'm signing that 1 year franchise tender, making a shit ton more money than 25 mil a year. So I think by midseason they got to make a decision.
Yeah, at that point you have to cut Hayward.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's playing well right now, so maybe we need Cam.
You got to wait till you're beyond 3 games. I got to tell you, because for one, we're not scoring a lot of points. For two, it is only 3 games. In 3, you're talking about paying money out to your quarterback, which is something that Pittsburgh only does seriously when they have a serious quarterback. I need to see more than 3 games. But again, he is the starter right now. There's no argument for me out of this, but there's still a lot of football to be played this year, guys.
So keeping with the Steelers offense, Jaylen Warren, you mentioned, is out. How does that affect the run game and the things we'd like to do as far as like the run game affecting the passing game, third downs?
I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Cordella Patterson, and if he can play the way he did last week, I think the offense would be just fine. He's not as explosive as Warren is now that he's later into his career, but he's still had some pretty good runs, some nice catches out there. I think we're going to lose some in pass pro on third down. That's where I'm worried, because Jaylen Warren's not afraid to put his nose in there and take on a blitzing linebacker and take that beating to help complete the pass. He's a much better blocker than those other guys. So I think we'll see a little loss there, but as for the rotation, I think we'll be just fine.
I think it's going to be referred to week 3. You're going to see a lot of what you've seen last week, maybe a little bit more one way or the other with having, a couple more carries, but I think it's going to be a heavy Najee Harris load today. And what scares me though is what if Najee Harris goes down and then we have to rely on Patterson for a full-time job. That's when I think we got to start worrying. But I think it's going to be, as I said, it's going to mirror last week as far as the running game.
Yeah, those fresh legs, especially in the fourth quarter, have gotten him 4.9 yards a carry. So Patterson's been doing his job, especially in the fourth. With the bigger workload, we'll see how it goes today, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Or do they just lean on Najee? Go, hey, you're going to be that back. You're going to get that 25. You're going to tote the rock 25 times like backs used to do, and go out there and just wear that defense down. We're going to beat them down in the fourth quarter, just take over.
Where did Patterson play last year?
Atlanta.
Where did he play before that? He's like 33, and I've never heard of him.
He's been around the league forever. I think so. He may have been there forever. Hold on, I'm pulling up his stats.
Maybe he came back after
the last time I watched Atlanta. Michael Vick played the last time I watched Atlanta a lot.
Yeah, he's been in the league since 2013 in Minnesota for a year in Oakland, a year in New England, 2 years in Chicago, last 3 in Atlanta. He's been around forever.
He's just grinding out that pension plan money.
Oh, he's already got that. This guy is set, invested, ready to go. But yeah, he's been all over he's just the guy who does a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Great returner.
Every once in a while, you get a guy like this. Remember Mueldy Moore? We got from Minnesota about 10 years ago. He was a nobody, but you know what? He filled that spot well on that team. He was the third down back, and he did great things when he was here. So, those are the kind of results I expect from somebody like this. They're going to come. They're going to make some positive plays. They're going to help us, win football games. Not in the most major of ways, but I look at him as more of a Mueldy Moore type guy.
Yeah,
it's today. Go ahead.
I was going to say his stats don't jump off the screen, but when you watch him play, the yards he get are key yards, key conversions. So he's just a spotty guy that you use him in key situations, and he seems to always produce.
Is today like the day that Pat Freiermuth busts out and has like 11 or 12 receptions?
That might be a bit high, maybe 8. Nice, solid 8 games for 120 yards. I can see it. Like I said, man, this defense is giving up a lot of yardage.
One thing I noticed about Fields, guys, he does, that's kind of a luxury position for him, a luxury route. He likes hitting that tight end. He's comfortable throwing to the tight end. So for whatever reason, I do think he's going to get his catches as he has been. So did
Diddy.
What's that?
So did Diddy.
Right. But he just, I could see it happening, guys. I don't know. Again, 10, 11, 12, that's kind of high. But again, I could certainly see him having a big day.
I need to ask Derpy if he's on the board still. Derpy, how are Diddy parties? We need to know. We know you've been to a few.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Might as well go on to the next subject because it's going to take a while.
He still hasn't responded back to the first.
Next Sunday morning.
Yeah.
The carrier pigeon will get there eventually for Derby.
All right. So I know everybody's really loves to watch football and loves to watch the offensive line. So let's dive into the offensive line. From left tackle to right tackle, what do we have going on? We have some new faces, definitely some rookies. What's going on there?
Well, I'm starting to get comfortable with both tackles. Dan Moore's become a steady Eddie left tackle. He did well last week going up against Khalil Mack. I think Mack only got around him once to make a play in the backfield, and he held his own. Center, Zach Frazier is being talked about as one of the best in the league already, up there with Creed Humphrey, so that's a good sign. You had the stat last week or earlier the week on our show how well James Daniels was playing. Broderick Jones had a nice little bounce back game. Can he put two in a row? I think he can. He proved it last year. Can it's that left guard spot. We're on our second left guard already. Mason McCormick getting his first start in the league. That's where I'm worried. Seumalo needs to get back sooner than later. So that's the weak link on the line. But McCormick, he's athletic. He's aggressive. If he can play under control, I'm not talking about penalties, but staying on his assignment. I think till Seumalo comes back, and this might be the best version of the line that we have, playing McCormick, because he's a lot more aggressive than Spencer Anderson.
I think this game is a huge opportunity for a guy like Mason McCormick because out of the school he came out of, being a later round draft pick the way that he was, this is a perfect opportunity for a guy in this situation. If he could come through and play a good game at the guard position and come out and show that he's a pro. Let's just say he doesn't make the Steelers, a couple of years from now, the rookie contract comes out, so he's dealing with all that. I think these kind of games are big for him because how often is he going to see the field? I mean, realistically, when Isaac Seumalo comes back, so I think that Mason McCormick makes the best of his opportunity today. He does well. I look for the offensive line guys to start showing a little bit more cohesiveness. Again, a lot of times when Justin Fields drops back, he does have to dance, get out of the pocket, run, move, whatever. But I look for the offensive line to play good today. It's 4 games into the season, guys. You play 4 sets of 4 plus the extra game. Again, we're already ended the first quarter. I expect this offensive line to show some signs of improve.
Yeah, and with McCormick, it's not like this is the first live game action he's going to see. They started rotating in game 2, had some more action last week. So
if we're playing the Ravens in this particular game, I think it's a problem. Worried. But it's the Colts. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah. I think the line's going to look good.
And then they have a high expectations for McCormick. They see him as the guy to replace James Daniels because his contract's up next year. And they think he can be a guy that can, in year 2, step into that spot and keep the line moving on. And today's game is going to be huge for him to see if he really can be that guy next year.
Now,
I just want to make a quick note, Brian. Derpy hasn't responded yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, live updates. Breaking news. No response. George Pickens has stepped up as the number 1. Obviously, we don't have a number 2, so he has to. Does he get a touchdown today, possibly?
I think so. I'm not impressed with their corners. They don't impress me at all. He should be able to feast upon them after going up against some of the best corners in the league, starting from week 1 up until last week. I think this is the game, and if the offensive line doesn't commit penalties, this guy's stat line would be a whole hell of a lot better. But I think this is the week where he gets a touchdown, has over 100 yards, and makes some really big wow splash plays.
I got to tell you, Brian, you're looking good with that the whole shave job there. I didn't expect to see that. I got on this morning, and you look like a toddler.
He looks like a brand new man.
Don't you just want to pinch him? I just want to pinch him. Look at him. Look at that. Huh?
God. I can't with you two.
Ryan,
I just want to go like this in his face. Right. Well, there was a suspiciously large order of baby oil to the studio the other day. It wasn't for me, so I don't know what he's doing with it.
Did you guys see anything about the details? They're saying it's something in the particular kind of baby oil that acts like a like ecstasy. It was. I mean, I guess they could be rubbing it all over each other, themselves, or whatever. But apparently, it's the chemical inside it that these people were taking, and it's like it reacts like an ecstasy does.
Oh, I'm sure it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with drugs for sure.
Right.
I mean,
but it was just
why are you buying it
interesting.
in bulk like that?
Yeah, right.
If you're not converting it into something else.
I like how Costco had to come out and say, we don't sell baby oil in bulk.
Yeah. LeBron doesn't come out and say anything dismissing any of the allegations, but Costco immediately is like, nope,
right.
We weren't involved.
Hey, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Good Lord. I can't wait till LeBron's whole life gets ruined by all this. The guy's such a turd.
That guy's a great human being. I don't know why you're so jelly at LeBron.
Yeah, I think
he's not.
Listen,
he's not a great human being.
Yeah,
hey, I think the debate between you two would be priceless, but this is Steeler game.
Maybe I don't even care about LeBron or Jordan.
Maybe this week on the show,
I love just getting him wound up.
Carry the debate, but come on, guys, we got Indianapolis Colts today.
Wait. There's a football game. How about this? I have breaking news.
Yeah,
I will not be watching this football game.
Really?
I'm not watching the game. I have to drive to West Virginia to take my daughter a bunch of, groceries and whatnot. And I'm going to have to listen to the game on DVE. I'm going to record the game and watch it multiple times later in the week. Yeah. But today I'll be listening to it on the radio. And I actually enjoy it on the radio. I mean, it's obviously better to watch, but the DVE does a good job with the coverage.
Yeah, Rob King's starting to. He was shaky the first week. I tune in every once in a while. He's getting better as a play-by-play.
I'm curious to listen to him. Yeah,
it's taken an adjustment because you listen to Billy Hillgrove for decades.
Hey, Mike, you could always turn over to the Pit game because that's what he does now. He does the Pit games.
Billy Hillgrove. I'm good.
So if you're missing some Bill Hillgrove, come on over, man.
Nah.
I'll get you a nice royal blue.
No, I'm good.
Shirt.
I can't. I like Billy Hillgrove.
He does the basketball games too, right, Ryan?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
It does a nice job.
Yeah.
So I'll be listening to the game.
Yes.
So just while you're watching the game, just know that I'll be driving down 79 towards West Virginia. I don't know if they have radio in West Virginia, though. I don't know if they got that technology yet. So hopefully it doesn't cut out when I cross over the border.
They might not have radio, but they have better roads than Pennsylvania. It's mind-boggling.
Their roads are much better than their teeth. It is crazy.
It is.
Well, as soon as you get into West Virginia, there's a bridge. Okay, so you cross the border from PA into West Virginia. There's a bridge. They're working on the bridge, so it's like traffic as soon as you get into West Virginia.
That's PA, infesting West Virginia because in PA there's construction everywhere. Same road's been worked on for 45 years and it's still impassable.
I know. I think they've been working on that bridge since '93. I remember
That's
going.
What it feels like.
So let's move away from the Steelers real quick, and we'll get back to them here to wrap up the show. But the Bengals are at the Panthers, the Browns are at the Raiders, and the Bills are at the Ravens. Thoughts on, first off, the Bengals trying to get their first win here against the Panthers?
I think all three of these teams could possibly lose today. Yeah. I really do. You got Andy Dalton under center. The team looked like a whole different team with Dalton in the lineup last week. I think the Panthers beat the Bengals. I think the Raiders beat the Browns, and I do believe the Buffalo Bills beat the Baltimore Ravens. I think all three of those things happen with a combination of us beating the Colts. That's just the way it's going to be, guys. Deal with it.
Wouldn't that be a great Sunday?
Oh, it'd be perfect Sunday. So you know what's going to happen. We'll lose and they will all win. Okay?
right.
I mean, I'm not trying to be pessimistic here, but that's how it goes. We get our hopes
and Derpy will respond on the board.
Yes.
Like promptly too. But I really do. I think Carolina can beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense has been atrocious this year, and the way that offense responded to Andy Dalton down in Carolina, I didn't think they had it in them. And I was shocked and surprised, but they did lose, I think, Adam Thielen. So I don't know who they have after Deontay, and I'm not going to look it up, but I think they can win. The Browns are already ready to implode. Deshaun Watson's killing that franchise. I love to see it.
What time does that game start? The Browns? Is that a 1 o'clock?
4:25.
So. Perfect.
And they're already down 2 touchdowns. So
they're at Vegas.
Yeah, and I think, Baltimore, they're not as dominant as people think they are. I think that Bills team, with all the talent they lost, can go in there and win.
Oh, the Bills and Ravens play tonight, so I'll definitely be watching that.
Yeah, and that Josh Allen might be the league MVP right now. He's playing pretty good ball.
And not to talk about myself or anything, but I did make a YouTube video, so everybody go over to One Man's Opinion on Sports on YouTube and watch my video. I did the 5 3-0 teams. It's the 15-0 series and how they stack up. It's about the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Bills, and your Pittsburgh Steelers, and how they stack up against each other, and who has a chance to go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl out of those 5. So go over to One Man's Opinion on Sports and check out my YouTube page. There's other stuff on there too, all different sports, baseball, basketball, NFL, you name it.
I just don't know how I can't get over this shave job. Man, you look like a whole different guy.
My question is, do you cover highlight? I'm looking for a guy to cover highlight.
No. Is that like an Asian massage parlor name?
Yeah. You have to go with Deshaun Watson. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to the Steelers. We've talked about the offense enough. TJ Watt, he has been playing fantastic. He's been actually trying against the run this year. Does that continue today?
I believe so. He was fired up all last game. There's the audio coming out and saying, "You can't chip me, you can't chip me." Get up in the fields, telling him to go out there and whoop some ass. He is fired up this year. I think he feels disrespected after last year not winning Defensive Player of the Year after leading the leagues in sacks. I think he's going to prove out there that he can be the total defensive, edge rusher, D-end, outside linebacker that he was 3 years ago when he won the award. I think he's a man on the mission this year. So I think he is going to go out there and keep playing the run the way he is.
Not to go off topic here, but I'm going to go off topic. Why do they call it Defensive Player of the Year? It's basically like who gets sacks.
Yeah. You know what? I've been saying that for 3 seasons. I tell them, there's no way that these guys are the best players on every single team's defense. Come on, with the inside linebackers, safeties, cornerbacks that are ball hawks getting 8 interceptions a season. Somebody like who's the big guy from Georgia they got in Philadelphia from the line that got in some trouble when he got drafted last year?
Jalen Carter.
I mean, this guy, every single play you're watching him, just amazed at the things that he does. Bryan, that is the $1 million question. Yeah. I think they basically made it a popularity contest between these pass rushers because I see a lot of guys in this league that are pretty damn good on the defensive side of the ball, and to narrow that down to just those 5 guys every year, that's crazy. Come on.
Yeah, it's like the MVP award is now the quarterback who's the best QB award, and then the offensive player of the year goes to who should be the league MVP on offense. It's a if they hand the ball off and you tackle the guy immediately 5 yards in the backfield, that doesn't count for anything. But you sack somebody who's trying to scramble for half a yard of loss, and that's a huge. You got to do a leg kick, and it's I don't know. Yeah, it's a popularity contest. I agree, Ryan. Like lockdown corners who take away the number 1 receiver might not have a lot of interceptions because their ball's not being thrown to them.
Was Darrell Revis ever the Defensive Player of the Year? That guy took down every single number 1 receiver that year. I mean, you've seen the numbers, unbelievable, and they probably gave it to somebody that was rushing the quarterback,
like an Ike Taylor type, someone who can't catch the ball but would shut down the elite receivers, doesn't get the recognition because they don't have that pretty little stat. So
speaking of Ike Taylor, number 24, Joey Porter Jr. Mm-hmm. How's his progression going to help today? Is he going to get some penalties, or is he going to shut down their? I mean, they don't even have a top receiver, right?
They got Pittman. Michael Pittman's a pretty good receiver. Michael Pittman Jr. I think he's going to follow him. Actually, I don't think he has to follow him the way Dante Jackson's playing opposite of him. So I think he'll get a penalty. He plays aggressive. It happens. But he's starting to get away with some of those penalties that he was getting called with last year. So I think he's just going to, whoever they line up against him, he's going to lock down, and Dante's going to lock down on the other side. But Porter, not just his coverage game, but his tackling game has improved night and day from his rookie year. This guy's taking that leap in his second year that we were all hoping for.
One thing I like about him is I'm noticing he's starting to tackle a lot more aggressively. There was a play last week where he came in and made a nice arm. He wrapped the legs, tackled, and I looked at Mike, and we both commented. He said 1 year ago he would have came in with the shoulder and tried to torpedo tackle that. And
was that the backfield? A run to the left.
Yes.
That highlight actually made my video that I made.
Yes, you're right. It did. And so I'm starting to like more whether Joey, Papa Joey had him out in the backyard all summer teaching him how to do this or whatever. I'm certainly like him moving in this direction. It goes a long way. Again, you're not going to stop every pass that comes your way, so you're gonna have to tackle some guys eventually. I like what I'm seeing from Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, and teams aren't throwing the ball to his side a whole lot.
Right. He's cutting that fielding half with his coverage, and that's
like we thought we had that touchdown last week. People thought it was a busted coverage between him and Minka. And Minka said, no, Joey played it right. I played it right. It was just the play design went that way. And, they beat us in that chess match. So like he's not even getting beat in coverage. So
what do you mean they played it right? The dude was open by 10 yards. You didn't play it right.
No, Porter had the underneath. Minka had the middle of the field, and the offense design went the other way. So it was a good play by the offense. Defense was just the wrong one dialed up in the situation. No one's to blame except the play design.
I don't know who dials up a defense that leaves somebody open by 10 yards. Like that's just bad.
I think that was just Minka covering for himself, because he probably should have drifted over that way. But Porter's playing well. He's one of the better corners in the league. When you look at advanced analytics, he's a shutdown corner. And then Dante Jackson on the other side.
I love the addition of that guy.
Oh, that was a great. It sucks that we don't have a number 2 wide receiver, but it's great now we have 4 guys in the secondary that are just playing at a high level.
I'm fine without Deontay. Believe me. Like I was so sick and tired of that guy catching the ball and running backwards. There was a play, and George Pickens, he drives me crazy. I mean, he can catch the ball in tight coverage like nobody's business, but when he catches the ball and he has a chance to go score a touchdown, he ran like sideways last game and got tackled by like 5 guys because he didn't just like run for the like. I don't understand why he catches the ball and immediately runs to the sideline. And he was like 30 yards from the sideline and he still ran towards it.
Yeah. Who knows with him? He's a head case, but he's our head case and he's playing well. And hopefully he'll figure it out.
Well, he needs to figure it out today and get in the end zone, because I don't know if you guys noticed, everybody listening, you guys might have been watching the 2 Dumb Yinzers earlier this week, and Mike's theory that we don't need to score any touchdowns and Ryan's absolute overreaction to the whole thing was fantastic. It was about 30 minutes of the show. It went on and on and on. It never stopped. And
Can I make one comment on that?
Yeah, I would make a rebuttal as well.
My comment is this. My comment is this. If you thought that was good, wait till we start losing football games.
Oh, yeah. But my thought is, like, we didn't need the scoreboard to have that extra 7 points. The game was over. We humiliated them. You kneel down and you get out of there.
Harris going down at the 1 was the right play, Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
We both agree on that.
Here's my point to the argument was, I think at some point the team needs to show an ability to be able to step on somebody's throat and prove their dominance in a game, because the Steelers typically play a slow style. They have all the way since the 70s. At some point, I would like to see an aggressive step on your throat. I'm going to run your ass over and win this football game kind of mentality. I would like to see that more out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's where I was kind of going with that.
So we're both right.
In 1980, when the United States was playing USSR in 1980, the hockey game, basically they got the 1-goal lead late in the third period, and it was like a countdown for like 8 minutes. You just wanted the clock to run out. Yeah. That's basically the Steelers' entire second half theory. If we have a 1-point lead or more, we're going to just run the clock out, as opposed to, like Ryan saying, they should be putting their foot on the pedal and just annihilating teams versus trying to run the clock out.
Do this win Super Bowls nowadays. Tom Brady put his foot on the pedal every game. It's just to me, it's a mindset. It's a style. I'd like the Steelers to move a little bit in that direction, not entirely, but at some point I would like to see them put their foot.
It was a great Bill Cowher second half Steeler offense.
It's been our offense for about 40 years.
What if Mike?
I know it is.
What if Mike Tomlin wore a Bill Cowher sweater to like a press conference?
He would. Every Yinzer would unite in their love of Mike Tomlin at that point. He would marry
like
the
for Halloween or something. He dressed up and had like the little like
The mustache.
mustache
Oh yeah,
and the
oh yeah.
Stuck his bottom jaw real far. I'd love
it. Everyone would dress
spit
up
on
for
everyone.
Halloween
Spit on everybody.
Yeah, everyone would dress up as Mike Tomlin, dressing up as Bill Cowher for Halloween. It would unite the fan base even more.
It would. I'm gonna make a suggestion next time I run into Mike.
Hey, you know what? I like Mike. I think he's grown on Pittsburghers in general. I think what Mike was referring to is a lot of people like Bill Cowher, and they weren't used to Mike Tomlin because a lot of things were going very well. But I got to tell you, he's grown on me. I like Tomlin. Obviously, he's a regular season king. I mean, never gone under 500. I'd like to see some more wins in the postseason, but he's grown on me. I like Coach Tomlin.
Me too. In 17 years, we watched one game that didn't matter.
I like to watch more that really matter, though.
Me too, but hey,
yeah.
I'm just glad I'm not a Browns fan, like a Bengals fan, a Lions fan. Like, we're spoiled here.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think a lot of fans forget the '80s were a wasteland.
And I don't want to go away from football, but today is the final day of the Major League Baseball regular season. Ryan, did the Pirates make the playoffs?
No, but they almost helped the Derpies Cleveland Guardians get the #1 seed. However, the Guardians were unable to carry their own end of the load. Pirates beat the Yankees in the first 2 games of this series. If the Cleveland
get your brooms out,
maybe Bailey Falter's on the mound today, but if the Cleveland Browns or the Cleveland Guardians win out, they were the #1 seed because we were able to beat the Yankees. Cleveland goes and loses it last night. So everything that we did this weekend went to.
Way to go, Derpy.
Yeah.
Way to go,
Derpy.
162. They don't play 160. They play 162, right, Derp?
Yeah. Isn't that ironic?
Well, what was okay? Real quick, what was the deal? Why did they pitch Paul Skeens for 2 innings?
Probably to just show that he can handle their lineup. That he is the rookie of the year. Protect that ERA to make his stats look better and get out.
And I know it's Steeler Day, but I do want to give my reason why Paul Skeens will be the rookie of the year. The guy that he's going up against, the character out in San Diego, he has a .292 batting average with 24 home runs, which is something that anybody could do on any given year. The
Pirates would take that.
The things that Paul Skeens did are things that haven't been done in 100 years by pitchers.
Right.
I think one guy hitting 24 home runs, that's how many Bryan Reynolds hit this year. Nothing special. Yeah, he's a rookie, but the things that Skeens did were things that we haven't seen in over a century. I think he gets the win.
Yeah,
is he even a true rookie? Because Paul Skeens is a true rookie. You know what I mean? It's his first year in the majors.
Yeah.
And, these other rookies that, they play 4 years in the minors and then they come up and then they're a rookie. He was just playing college last year.
Yeah. Merrill wasn't playing college last year. And I saw someone on Twitter say, they're like, if Paul Skeens doesn't win rookie of the year, you're saying no pitcher ever from now on deserves rookie of the year.
And under 2 ERA.
One is it 196, 190?
Yeah. I mean,
something crazy. Yeah.
I mean, he has the best looking girlfriend. I mean, what more do you want out of life?
Yeah. And if you look at his numbers, all of his losses should easily have been wins.
If he would have had an offense, he could have been 15-0. This guy. I mean, come on. What is he?
If he was playing on the Padres, he probably would be 15, 16, 17-0.
That's what I'm saying.
Being conversation as the best pitcher, him and Chris Sales.
The fact that the Pirates stink was, the only thing that could have possibly hurt him.
The only way you get the 1-1 pitcher of a lifetime is you have to stink. So I mean, he had to have known that he was going to a terrible situation.
The Pirates will continue to stink. That's the special thing about the Buccos. We'll continue to stink even though we got him.
We'll continue to stink for decades after he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a culture here.
What do we have left, Ryan? By 10 minutes?
We do have 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Well, let's get back into some football then. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
So around the league, basically, Ryan's predicting a Steelers win, a Bills win, a Raiders win, and a Panthers win. I mean, that sounds good to me. What game other than the Steelers are you guys looking forward to watching this weekend?
I want to see this Baltimore Ravens Buffalo Bills game tonight. Come on, guys. All the games are over for today. You're sitting around on the couch, kind of, you're dreading Monday coming around. Then that 8:30 game comes around. That's going to be a good one. The Ravens, Buffalo Bills. We have a lot in this game riding on it, of course, with our team. So that to me is the game that I can't wait to watch.
I saw Roman Wilson is inactive again.
Oh.
So look for
Roman Wilson's inactive.
Inactive. Look for a heavy dose of at Freiermuth and Calvin Ost today.
And I'm okay with that. It's just some point. Come on, what's up with this dude?
Right now, Rowan Wilson is that player Ryan is going to hate and call a bum for the rest of the year.
Well, if he keeps
Roman Wilson, around, Russell Wilson,
yeah,
Justin Wilson, you know,
if you brought anybody in on the offense with the last name Wilson, don't expect to see him play this year.
Yeah, the injured Wilson, the injury prone Wilson's out there playing every snap, and then
the guy that has no ligaments in his legs is out there playing every game, making big plays. Guy with a tight vagina muscle is out since the beginning of preseason. Come on,
a tight what?
Russell with his tight vagina muscle, his calf.
All right, so the Colts last year put up 30 on the Steelers.
Yeah,
30. Yeah. I know Ryan's been saying, well, we had Mitch Trubisky. Well, Mitch Trubisky didn't give up 30 points. He might have thrown a couple interceptions to help them get field position, but the Steelers can't score. If the Colts put up 30, I mean, we lose, right?
If they put up 30, this defense needs to reevaluate it big time. It's like this defense is so much better than last year's defense. They're coming in healthy into this game. You have Patrick Green, Peyton Wilson, and Landon Roberts as your middle backers. Cam's healthy. Ogunjobi's healthy. You have now 2 lockdown corners. Minka's healthy. He has Deshaun Elliott playing next to him instead of Trenton Thompson last year. So this defense should not give up 30. This defense should not even give up 14 points. But I think they will, just because of broken plays that are going to happen from Richardson scrambling around. They're going to get some big plays. But this defense should not. 17 points max they should give up. So I think they're going to be able to keep this offense in check this year.
This game is totally different than last year. Last year it was near the end of the season. Last year we were having all kind of issues. Last year, I think that this defense wants to certainly carry on what it's been doing through the first 3 games of the season. Again, you're coming upon the end of the first quarter of the season. I think the defense shows out today. It holds the Indianapolis Colts, and I think we win. I think we win, hopefully by a couple touchdowns, but I'd say by 7-10 points anyway.
And 7-10 points. So what are we holding them to, like? Under 10? Is that
absolutely? I don't think this game's going to be any different than the first 3. I think this is, again, the kind of team we are until we make those steps to do things that we do a little bit better. This is going to be the same results as you had in 1, 2, 3 season last year, season year before. This is just where we're at, guys, until we get somebody who could come in and really pick up the offensive play and turn this into I hate to say it, a real football team. This is going to be the kind of game that you're going to see. And there's been nothing over the last 40 games that showed me otherwise. I hope they come out and score 40 points. Realistically, it's not going to happen. Again, it might be like last week, maybe a 17-10, maybe a 23-14. It's going to be close. It's probably going to be ugly, and it's going to be again very similar to what we've seen for the past 40.
I think we're going to put up like 27 points this game.
We could have put up 27 last game.
We could have. We didn't need to. It
would have been 26. That would have been the time like Boswell missed the extra point.
Yeah.
And then Ryan would have been, we can't score 27 points. Right. This offense sucks.
Yeah.
But so, I think we put up.
Did the Steelers get out to a lead then and just hold it? Is that what we're thinking, or will they haven't had to play from behind yet?
No. I can see this being the game where, depending on if. I think Indy can score first, and then we just work our way back in, and we just take the game over. Their defense just does not impress me. I think our offense should have a big game. Now, if we don't score 27 points this game, I might be a little pissed come Monday.
Isn't it really loud there? Don't they pump in?
Oh, yeah, they pump in crowd noise. That could be an issue.
Yeah.
Frazier's been having some bad snaps on the road, at least one a game. I think that might be an issue. I forgot about that.
Don't worry, he's got the sure hands of Justin Fields under his sack.
Oh, I know, right? You got a center who gets the yips and a quarterback who gets the yips in the exchange. It's a perfect combination.
I think the guys, I think the amount of points that the Saints scored against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago was more in one game than we scored in 3 games. I think everybody agrees we got to find a way to get this ball in the end zone a lot more today.
George Pickens needs to run after the catch towards the end zone. I'm tired of this going. He needs to have 2 or 3 touchdowns today. I swear.
I'd like to see it.
3 might be a bit much. 2 would be awesome.
Man. If he could blow up today, that'd be great.
Yeah. Player of the week, George Pickens, needs to be.
What do you think? Who do you think is going to be the player of the week? Who do you pick? Who's going to be the guy that makes the most impact? I see a 2 interception day by somebody, and I hope it's Joey Porter Jr.
Ooh.
But I think one of our DBs get a 2 interception day.
Fitzpatrick hasn't had to do too much because the defense has been absolutely lights out at every level. That normally Fitzpatrick has 20 tackles. He's tackling everybody after the first down, and he's all over the place. And he's surrounded by talent. But maybe today could be the day that he at least knocks them down, because they are going to be coming in like a Paul Skeen splinker. At least he's going to break up some passes that are key.
Yeah, he is due for a Minkah Fitzpatrick game, and I think Anthony Richardson is the quarterback that we talked about earlier, over in the middle of the field, and Minkah likes to patrol the middle. I'm looking for a big game out of him, and it wouldn't surprise me. Look out, Peyton Wilson. They like to use him in passing situations. If he can drop back into coverage and patrol the short middle, look for him to have an impact, because he's been playing some steady ball. Go back, watch the games, watch the coaches film if you can. Peyton Wilson's he's primed for a game, and this could be it. Him and Minkah in the middle.
Mike, Bryan, does it benefit Dallas any that they get to sit back and watch us today? Of course, we got to watch them play last week on Thursday night. But for this being the big game for us coming up, does it play to their advantage to sit back and get to watch us today? Of course, you watch your film all week, but being able to just sit back and watch this game play, does that benefit them, or do you think they're okay?
I don't think the players today take anything seriously. I don't think they care about like studying the film and watching. And there's probably maybe a couple players on their team, they're probably out with their women and impregnating people that aren't their wives and whatever they do.
Right.
It's really sad, but I don't think they're like, okay, at 1:00 I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch who I have to match up against and watch him closely. I don't think the coaches are probably doing that, but I don't think the players are. They're out doing whatever they want to do. So do we have and we love to look forward to next week, but that Micah Parsons, is he out for next week?
DeMarcus Lawrence is out. Micah Parsons is out. So that certainly plays to our advantage.
Boy, does that help.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Not to look forward.
No, not to look forward. We got to get the win this week. And, my God, you start 4-0, you start talking 5-0. Next thing you know, you start talking playoffs, boys.
Next thing you're 11-0 and then just stink.
Oh. Then you forget how to catch a ball. Everybody on your
Everyone on the team forgot how to catch. The defense forgot how to tackle.
It looks like about 3 minutes, Bryan. Are we going to do any predictions before we go off?
Yes, I'm going to predict that lots of people are watching this live cast right now, because my views of my YouTube video that I made of the 5-3-0 teams, the Vikings, Seattle Seahawks, the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Steelers, the views have just spiked. So I appreciate everyone. I have well over 4,000 views in the last, I think, like 10 days on YouTube. So I appreciate everybody checking out One Man's Opinion on Sports over on YouTube. I put a lot of effort into these videos. I know it's like 7-8 minutes, but like it takes me countless hours. I mean, it takes like 20 hours to do a video.
Well, I got to be honest with you. Every day, Bryan and I tend to some degree, we text about one thing or another. Since he's been working on these videos, I haven't heard from this guy. I sit around and I mope and I wonder where my friend is. But you know what? Whenever those videos come pumping out and he's getting the views, it's worth it, man. Go check them out, everybody.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. So as far as the Steelers game today, I'm predicting a Colts win.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think they're going to run the ball down our throat, and I don't think we're going to have enough offense to combat that.
Fair enough. That's that. I could see that happening. I could talk myself into it, but I think I'm going to the Pittsburgh Steelers 27, the Indy Colts 17. That's what I got.
So they're gonna when they're up 20-17 at the end of the game, you think they'll punch it in and get that extra touchdown, or
no, we'll kneel down. We'll respect the football gods
and win 20-17. Oh geez, let me think. Steelers, Colts run game.
Like, is it bad for the YouTube show if I predict the Steelers to lose?
No, I'm predicting to lose all the time.
I'm going to say 24-14. The Steelers win 24-14.
You guys just lost 100 subscribers. I just saw on the YouTube updates after my prediction.
You know, the way I've talked about this team before, I'm surprised we haven't lost a lot more.
Like I said, yeah, you think you thought it was getting aggressive last week. Wait till this team starts losing football games.
I feel though like when they win it's when we argue the most. When they lose, we can find comfort in the misery.
I'm sure you two find comfort in each other. I'm sure of that. Who knows what goes on at that studio? And
hey, you with that new shave job over there. I want to start with you over here.
The shave job, and we got the baby oil coming in. You're looking to slide right in somewhere.
That was weird, Mike.
Oh, I made it weird. I
mean, we're sitting here talking about football, Mike, and all of a sudden you bring up just
baby oil and sliding in and everything else.
Yeah, we're about to watch grown sweaty men run into each other, and I make it okay.
You know, I have a little story. I know we're probably out of time here, but I thank God this isn't the radio where like I have to just end it. But here's the situation: that Mike, what the heck was his name? They call him Stink. He's on ESPN.
Oh, Mark Schlereth.
Mark Schlereth. Yeah. So he was in a preseason game, and you know he's the center or whatever for maybe Denver, I think. And basically he was done for the day, and it was because it was a second half and whatever. So the backups are playing, and he had to go pee real bad. Well, he's standing on the sideline. He just went. Okay, and he tells a story, right? And so he just went, and for whatever reason, somebody got hurt. And the coach is like, hey, in the fourth quarter, you got to go back in. And he goes, and I forget who the quarterback was, the third string quarterback had to go in and just put his hands in there for the rest of the game. Yes, that's a good stink.
And that's why he
story.
Was stink? Is that why he stink?
No, I think he had the name before that. So if you get
he knows what this guy's up to.
You know how smelly those guys have to be, and to get the name stink,
right?
You know how much worse you have to be than everybody else.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to be listening to the game on WDVE 102.5. I'm looking forward to the drive down and back to West Virginia to see my kid. It's funny. She messaged me last night. I guess she goes to the bars. I guess she's not even 21, and she goes to the bars. I guess you're allowed in there at 18 in West Virginia. And she said that it was Parents' Weekend, and so my response was, "Well, is there any single moms?"
Right?
And she's like,
where
probably.
You need to be. No wonder you're driving down during a Steeler game. I mean,
my mom's going with me.
Oh, you see.
Oh, yeah. You need a chaperone.
Yeah, I got to put up like
we got like wingman.
We got like a rod for blinds and whatever I got to put up over her window and stuff. So that I'll be doing that. That'll probably be around like halftime.
We wish you a safe trip, man.
Yeah. The Colts center is out, so the backup rookie will be starting today.
We like that.
So look for him. Look for Tanner Bartoloni to one-on-one pancake block Cam Hayward all game long.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here, Mike?
No,
Brian?
that's all I got.
That's it for me. Let's go Steelers. Let's get this win, baby.
All right. We'll see everybody back here next week at 11 for the Steelers versus Cowboys. I believe it's a 4:25 start, but we'll be here at 11 o'clock on YouTube live for the pregame show for that. Hopefully the Steelers are 4-0 going into that game. Thanks for joining us, everyone.